Yo, what's going on? We don't normally talk about Russell Wilson randomly. Let's get into it. Russell Wilson, Deshaun Watson, two of the guys we're talking about in this show. Let's get into it. Hey, what's going on? So this is a little sub series I got going on called Quarterback Carousel. I'm talking about quarterbacks and everything that's going on because it's wild. It's been a wild week, and I wanted to wait till Saturday to record it, and you guys will see it Sunday. So happy Sunday. So hey, let's get into it. So Russell Wilson was in the news this week because it's I don't know if it was a rumor or something that's floating around that they were talking about trading Russell Wilson. And he put out a list that he don't want to leave, but if they want to trade him, he wants to go to the Cowboys, Saints, Raiders, or Bears. Weird subsection of like teams. So we're gonna break down all four of these teams, and we're gonna talk about Russ. So the Cowboys. Let's start with the Cowboys. Everybody knows Cowboys didn't make the playoffs last year. It was a disaster. Dak got hurt, and really the bottom fell out the season. With the bottom falling out the season, it's up and down. Are they going to pay Dak, or they're not going to pay Dak? Is Dak going for $1 million? Blah 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 blah. So they're entrenched in that. And as much as I would love to see Russell Wilson go to Dallas doesn't have the institutionalized smartness to even attempt to make this deal work. So I don't expect him to go to Dallas at all. So the next one we have on the docket is the Saints. The Saints just came off a bad playoff performance by Drew Brees. If they would have had any type of offense in that game, I think they could have won. But the Bucs would end up just being too much. So with Drew Brees, I think we all know by the way that he looked in that game, Drew Brees is probably about to retire. But then you also have to think about are they going to go forward with Taysom Hill, which would be the dumbest idea ever, or are they going to go forward with Jameis Winston, which is the direction I think they should go. And I think they're going to go one or two options. They're going to go with Taysom Hill because they just want Taysom. They just want a Lamar Jackson type to look in white skin. Or they're going to go with Jameis Winston because Jameis Winston is the better talent there. People forget he did throw for 30 touchdowns and over 4,000 yards, even though he threw for 30 interceptions. And that team was 79. And I think they would have made they probably wouldn't have won the Super Bowl, but they'd have made a good playoff run if Winston was there and he'd have cut them interceptions in half. Like, Winston could have been in MVP conversation this year if he'd have cut the interceptions down. So let's not sit here and act like Tom Brady had a team that wasn't already talented. We have the Raiders. The Raiders is a very interesting person or spot to go to because it's simple the fact that it's John Gruden, Derek Carr's there. I don't think they made the playoffs this year. Their record will be on the screen. And they had a really awful second half to the season. I can't remember how many games they lost. They had a really bad second half of the season. And I don't know what Russ would gain from that. I mean, essentially you'd be going to a poor man's version of Seattle. I don't see, unless he wants better weather. That's the only thing I can think of that people want to go to. Better weather. Yeah, so I really have no idea why these are on his list. The Bears. I talked about the Bears when it came to Deshaun, Cam, Jameis. Everybody, I always put them with the Bears. And I put them with the Bears for the simple fact that weather is really crazy and you need a sturdy quarterback to throw through that weather. And Mitch Trubisky is awful. But it looks like they're probably going to end up re-signing Mitch Trubisky. And Matt Nagy and that whole staff is going to get fired at some point next year because Mr. Trubisky is awful. So I don't know why he would want to go to the Bears. Allen Robinson is a free agent. It looks like there's going to be quite a bit of turnover in the Bears within the next couple months. Khalil Mack is not getting any younger. It just doesn't look like an attractive destination the way it used to look. So we're talking about his numbers and his 2020 season and all that. So his 2020 season, he 4,000 passing yards, 40 touchdowns, 13 interceptions, a 105.1 QBR. Now you might look and say, "Oh, that's great," but if you actually watched Russell through the whole season, you would realize that the numbers look good, but his level of play wasn't 40 and 13. Just for the simple fact that he played really, really well at the beginning of the season, and he tailed off at the end, which is why Russell Wilson, for like the last 2-3 seasons, has started off in the MVP conversation and then slowly drifted away out of the MVP conversation. So, you might say, he's still a great quarterback. I'm not saying he's not a great quarterback. Is it the fact that Russell Wilson tails off at the end of the year, or is that the team's figuring out Pete Carroll's offense? Which one is it? So it remains to be seen what happens. But if I had to pick a spot, I would love to see him with the Saints or Cowboys. If Jerry Jones can swing that, then you swing that. But I just don't think they have the institutional smarts to make that happen. And the Saints would be my second option. You got Sean Payton there. Drew Brees doesn't retire, and that spot is open for anybody who wants to be there. So yeah, that's Russell Wilson. That's what we have for Russell Wilson as of right now. And so we'll see what happens in the coming days. I don't expect him to go anywhere. I expect Pete Carroll to get fired before Russell Wilson gets traded. So that's that. And so we have our regular Deshaun Watson saga that is this season, off season. And this week we have more news about Deshaun Watson. So he put this tweet up. It's like loyalty over something. I can't remember the name of it. I don't have it in front of me, but it'll be on the screen. And so he put that up. And the reason he put that up is because of this right here. When I'm showing you the tweet, I think it's from Adam Schefter, I think, where he met with the coaching staff. He met with the head coach and told the head coach, "I'm not going to be here, bro." And so Sean is gone. And so if I remember, I might put this on screen of the awful panel of people they had on Undisputed this week. I think his name is LeVar. He just was awful. So I might put that BS on the screen so y'all can hear the BS that he was spewing about Deshaun Watson, because what he's saying was awful. He's basically saying that the team has Deshaun Watson has no leverage. And the thing that he didn't make clear in that is that Deshaun Watson is willing to retire over this, and this is a PR nightmare for Houston. I don't understand why he thinks that this is not a PR nightmare for Houston, because no free agents are going to come to Houston. You're not going to get none of the high profile coaches. You're not going to get none of the high profile, even like anything. So trade him, get the picks, trade him to Carolina, get McCaffrey, get the picks, get Teddy, and you'll be fine. But no, they want to stick to their guns. And I think there's a racial element that's going on with this. It's probably more ego than racist, but the fact y'all don't want to trade him, and then y'all getting rid of all his people, I just find that very, very ego driven, and not, like I said, the same thing about the Cowboys. They don't have a lot of institutionalized football intelligence. That's obviously what's going on in Houston. So hopefully Deshaun gets out of there soon. I got my money ready to buy another number 4 jersey because I'm never wearing that jersey again. And the way Houston treated Deshaun and just a dumpster fire in Houston, man. It's a dumpster fire. So that's all I got for y'all. I'm gonna try to have another video out. Let me know if y'all like these quarterback carousels where I'm just talking about quarterbacks and all that good stuff. So that's all I got for y'all. Be on the lookout for another video this week. I'm not sure what my schedule is going to be for the off season anymore. It's just so up in the air now. But expect a video every Sunday for sure. So that's all I got for y'all, and I'll see y'all next week.